game means something different to everybody. I want you to think about what this game means to you, what this game means to those that came before you. This one means more. You can't tell me it doesn't. This game is bigger than tonight, man.
This is our program. This is our program. Matador football. I don't care what they do, because these are the people that matter. Right here. This is all you need. This is all we need.
Keep it going, baby. Keep it going. Fellas, some of you are just going to have to step up. Next man up. Next man up. This one means a lot. Everything you got. 24 minutes.
Make them quit. You make them quit. You hit them until the game is over. Every single play, you make them quit. That's your job every single time. Make them quit because they don't want it.
Back to school means back to early bedtimes.
But I'm not tired.
Fortunately, there's Pure Z's Kids, mindfully formulated to help your child fall asleep naturally when needed. Pure Z's Kids products are non-habit forming, drug-free, and available in liquid, chewable tablets and gummies. Give them the rest to be their best.
Bye, Mom!
Pure Z's Kids, for ages 4 and up. Explore all Pure Z's Kids products at zquill.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze Fruit on the Go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
AVC Sports presents high school football. Tonight's game is brought to you by patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Don't Board, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Valentine Insurance, People's Bank, Myra Shire for Municipal Court Judge, Wayne Garage Door, Dunkin' Donuts of Cambridge, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, Laborers Local 530, Cambridge Overhead Door, Guernsey County Sportsman Association, and Cambridge Auto Sales.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Week 4 of the high school football season tonight on WLE 97.7 and YRP TV. It is the Cambridge Bobcats back at McFarland Stadium, and they will be hosting the Indian Valley Braves. Bill Kafuri, John Valentine in the box tonight to give you all the action between the 0-3 Cats and the 2-1 Indian Valley Braves. And welcome, JV. It was for the first time maybe this year, a pleasant stroll into the stadium. The weather not too hot, not too wet. Maybe a perfect night for football. Feels like fall.
It really does. Beautiful night. Military Appreciation Night. The Bobcats are going to be in the camo uniforms as they have the last several years. That adds a little more fun to the broadcast.
Well, yeah, we're going to be guessing numbers
yes,
for a while.
For sure.
Yeah, that's always a chore for us because of those camo jerseys and black numbers on them make it a little tougher for everyone to see tonight. And unless your mom and dad and you know how your son's standing out there or running.
And you knew what number he was going to be wearing all week
exactly,
anyway.
Exactly. But a tough task at hand tonight for the Bobcats in a normal situation. But after a tough road loss a week ago where the Cats came out and played really well early against the Meadowbrook Colts and led at one point, I believe, 21-8, and then just saw things dissipate. Injuries to key players and between the injuries and the penalties, they end up dropping that game 60-35. One thing they continue to do well, though, is throw the ball. But the problem is going to be tonight is who you're going to throw it to. Because a number of guys got dinged up a week ago. And for the Bobcats and their starters, they're going to be losing a lot of those starting receivers.
It's going to be a little tougher task tonight, but if anybody can rise up to that occasion, it's going to be Garrett Carpenter. He likes to throw the ball around and find multiple receivers anyway, but tonight the only starting receiver, which is usually a 4 to 5 receiver set, is Devin Ogle, senior Devin Ogle. So as you said, a couple guys got banged up last week. And also there's some sickness running around through the locker room too, so there's going to be a couple guys down that way. So it'll be a little bit interesting, especially because that's what the Cats rely upon. So you're going to have to step up, which they did last week in the second half as well because of those injuries. So those young guys got to mature really quick tonight.
You're listening to our pregame brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts of Cambridge and Southeastern Ohio Counseling. So thank them and all of our sponsors for tonight's action, a ton of them. Maya Shire from Municipal Judge, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Doan Ford, People's Bank, Valentine Insurance, Wayne's Garage Door, and Cambridge Auto Sales among them. And we talked a little bit about the weather. The weather seems like every week it's been an issue. Tonight it's not going to be an issue, and it's just going to be one of those nice, cool, well, maybe not even cool. I think the low temperature is nice in the mid-60s, so you know, for the players tonight, it's still going to be a pretty warm night, but a pleasant one for the fans in the stand. And as you would expect, coming in at 2-1, Indian Valley with a good following on the road, not that big of a trip. Bobcats tonight also honoring the Athletic Hall of Fame inductees tonight.
Mm-hmm. We talked a little bit about them last week. You gave us some insight on those. 2 coaches, 2 players that'll be inducted tonight at halftime, so that adds a nice extra twist to it as well. Indian Valley, like, as you said, brought a pretty good crowd with them, not real far away, but they're expecting a pretty good season, and got to watch some film on them, obviously, this week to kind of prepare for tonight. And, boy, they looked really good last year. They lost a really good group of seniors, but, boy, they're still firing on all cylinders at the beginning of this season, though they did stumble last week against Dover. Dover was a pretty good opponent. You wait till you see the Indian Valley kids compared to our kids. There's a pretty big size difference, and the exact opposite was true last week. Dover, their front 5 were men. I mean, 6'4", 6'3", 300 pounds. It was crazy to see the size difference. So they kind of controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's really what you're going to see out of Indian Valley this week. They're definitely going to get back to controlling that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they won the toss. They deferred, letting Cambridge have the ball first. And, of course, that's probably what the Bobcats would have chosen to do anyway. They'd like to get their offense out there and get Garrett Carpenter up and going. And through 3 games, boy, he has been up and going for the Bobcats. He's thrown for just shy of 1,000 yards in 3 weeks. And, you start thinking, and you look at those stats and you start thinking about, wow. But that hasn't led to a W for the Bobcats. He's thrown 60% completion, 946 yards. He's got 5 TDs, passing 4 interceptions, a couple of those tip balls. But and he's also rushed for 4 touchdowns, and he is the Bobcats' leading rusher on the season. So a lot of those things are good. But on the other hand, his top 3 receivers, or 2 of his top 3 receivers, will not be with him tonight. So, that's going to make him. Although he's pretty good at moving it around anyway, he does have a guy that he likes to throw to, and that guy's going to be there tonight.
Yeah, and if you ever want a guy on the field, that's the one that you're going to have tonight. That's Devin Ogle. He leads the receiving corps with 23 receptions, 306 yards, averages 13.5 per reception. A big game last week, though he didn't catch a touchdown last week. He does have 2 on the season, but he's their go-to guy. Everybody knows that. He gets double-teamed every single game, and I would suspect that you're going to see that tonight as well.
Yeah, I would think so. The one thing the Cats have continued to work on each week is trying to make their running game a little stronger, and that's going to be a work in progress. As they've lost some linemen coming into tonight's game too that we haven't talked a little bit about, and a couple of those guys aren't going to be playing. So Sylvis Fisher went down a week ago, and he'll not be in action tonight. And I think Yakupchak. And so 2 starters on offense, and one of those is also a defensive player and on the line. So you're going to go another level deeper there into your depth chart which is already kind of a thin area for the Bobcats along the line.
Right, and again, there's some sickness floating around too. So you're going to have a lot of new faces, new names out there tonight. It is what it is. You go with what you got, and Garrett Carpenter is going to give it his all, no doubt. I hope that he learned a little bit from last week. He tried to kind of do that last week too, and put the team on his shoulders, which he has to do. But in doing that, that doesn't mean press and make some decisions that your coach doesn't want you to make. And hopefully he learned a little bit from that last week, and he controls the ball. The Cats can move the ball. They can score. They can put it in the end zone. As long as you don't have turnovers, they're going to be able to put some points on the board. The difference would be the Cats' defense, of course. They're going to have to slow down this Indian Valley rushing attack, because that's primarily their goal, is to control the line of scrimmage, and they got a really good one in the backfield too.
Well, the Braves have a couple of guys that can run the ball. Colton Thomas is one of them. He's averaging 7.5 yards a carry, but the other guy is Grady Kinsey, and he's at 7 yards a carry as well, 6 touchdowns, but he's also dangerous coming out of the backfield, over 100 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns there as well. So that's that kind of two-headed monster. We're probably going to see a team come out and run the ball a lot more than we have all year. And maybe some different sets than, everybody wants to go 5 wide and 4 wide and do things like that, but it might be a little bit more of a throwback time for them. And the only common opponent to this point in the season has been Meadowbrook, and we talked about how they handed Bobcats a loss a week ago, 60-35. Indian Valley handled them in week 2, 47-16. So if you can compare scores as comparing teams, that doesn't bode well for the Cats. That's kind of a Samson and Delilah, or something like that. You understand what I'm talking about?
Of course. I always know what you're talking about.
David and
Goliath, I got you.
Goliath, Samson. The Bobcats need to be Samson tonight. That's what I know. They need to be Samson.
Yeah, and you're going to hear the name Colton Thomas a lot. Even though Kinsey is their leading rusher, Colton Thomas is their go-to guy. They're going to get him the ball any way that they can, throwing it. They're going to give it to him in the backfield. He'll also line up in a Wildcat situation. If anybody followed Indian Valley last year, they'll remember that Carter, their starting quarterback, got hurt last year, and Thomas stepped in and filled his place as a quarterback. So he's got the ability to make some plays in the backfield and out wide as well.
You're listening to our pregame, brought to you tonight from McFarland Stadium as the Cats host the Indian Valley Braves. Stay tuned. Opening kickoff coming up right after these messages.
Back to school means back to early bedtimes.
But I'm not tired.
Fortunately, there's Pure Z's Kids, mindfully formulated to help your child fall asleep naturally when needed. Pure Z's Kids products are non-habit forming, drug-free, and available in liquid, chewable tablets and gummies. Give them the rest to be their best.
Bye, Mom!
Pure Z's Kids, for ages 4 and up. Explore all Pure Z's Kids products at zquill.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos, and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze Fruit on the Go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
Hunters, shooters, and gun collectors, bring your whole family to an evening of fundraising and firearms at the Guernsey County Sportsman Association banquet on Saturday, September 9th. There will be lots of guns and merchandise, and their raffles and live auction. 100% of the proceeds benefit local youth shooting sports groups. That's Saturday, September 9th at Jurassic Park. Doors open at 5. Tickets are just $50 for adults and $15 for youth 17 and under. For more information, call Scott 740-801-1900 or go to yssff.org.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance? Has your insurance company raised your deductible? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. Many people can't accurately answer these questions. With many premiums escrowed into mortgages, homeowners don't pay attention to changes to their policies anymore. It's time you visit Valentine Insurance for a true, no-obligation review of your insurance policy. Call 994-1776 or stop by our office at 739 Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Back at McFarland Stadium, our game of the week on YRP TV and 97.7 WLE Cambridge, hosting the Indian Valley Braves. Bill Kafuri, John Valentine, our pregame warm-up for us and you here, sponsored by Duncan of Cambridge.
I'd like to get a couple of those Dunkins in here.
Hey.
A little halftime snack, something like that.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
Hint. Yeah, I'm looking around the press box. There ain't anybody up here. It looks like they need Duncan.
No, definitely not.
Bobcats will have the opening kick tonight, and the Cats, we'll find out exactly who is going to start, but we know Garrett Carpenter is going to be at quarterback tonight, and across the front, kind of a makeshift line, Jacob Briggs, Caden Dillon, Alec Porter, the mainstays in there, and a couple of other guys are going to have to step up and fill in. And as of right now, we're not sure who that's going to be. But
yeah, and I saw Alec Porter on the sideline as well.
Yeah,
earlier.
so one more
right.
extra guy. I know they have canceled the JV contest for tomorrow because a lot of those guys are going to be playing most of the game tonight.
Yep.
So you'll be hearing a few names maybe that you haven't heard in some of those positions this year. Devin Okel will certainly be there as well as Clayton Myers, Nathan Schultz, Riley Wilson, Damian Shaw at receiver spot as well. For Indian Valley, a four-man defensive front, Jackson Bircher, Justin Caggett, Brent Smith, Riker Williams up front. Not particularly huge, but they're pretty fast and pretty strong across the front four. And you're going to hear the name Quake Beatty and Grady Kinsey and Cam Guspett a lot. Those three are the three leading tacklers, particularly Beatty a year ago set a single-season record for tackles for the Braves, and he's right back at it this year as their leading tackler again. So you'll be hearing those names a lot on defense. Tanya McComb, Ethan Fair, along with Owen Faulkner and Colton Thomas at the deep backs for the Braves as well. But one of the things we've seen Cambridge do in the last couple of weeks, JV, is they've come out and actually moved the ball exceptionally well in the first couple of drives. The elephant in the room, so to speak, though, is how do the Bobcats eliminate the penalties that have been drive killers all year long?
Yeah, that first possession is always kind of put the feelers out there, right, on the defensive end. You can practice it and try to replicate it all you want to in practice, but until you see it live, you're really not prepared for it. So usually that first series for sure, maybe another one, the defense kind of trying to get their feelers out there, right? So the offense does have an advantage. That makes sense. So, but you're right. The Cats got stalled a couple of weeks ago at John Glenn, the first two possessions because of some penalties, and then last week another 30 penalty game, not necessarily from the Cats, but overall 30. So the Cats really need to clean that up for sure. But, yeah, look for the Cats to put the ball up early and often. We were talking about some stats and those kind of things and sizes of the Indian Valley kids. From a defensive standpoint, as you mentioned, they're not real big, but, man, they are fast and they're aggressive. They love to put their hats on the ball and gang tackle, and you're going to see a lot of really white jerseys flying around tonight.
Well, that's one of the things that the Bobcats have tried to improve on is getting their assignments taken care of, especially when they're running the ball, and that's something they haven't done well. The rushing yards for the Cats this year have primarily come from the quarterback breaking things down and getting out and going. All of our kickoffs tonight brought to you by Valentine Insurance on Southgate Parkway in Cambridge. And kicking off for the Braves, Tanyan McComb. And back deep, it's kind of a matter of who's left back deep. And I can't quite tell the number here, but here we go. This is going to be a squib kick short. It's going to be taken by one of the up backs for the Bobcats. That'll be Nathan Schultz, and he'll get it out across the 30, near the 33 or 4. So the Cats with decent field position. They'll get things started with the offense from their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, have a little bit of patience with us tonight, folks, because a lot of new folks out on the field, plus the jerseys.
Yeah, that's a double whammy, isn't it?
Right. A couple numbers that'll be different. You'll notice that tonight as well.
Got a lot of different starters for the Cats on that, certainly the whole left side of the offensive line. As Carpenter opens up with
Tristan Cramblett. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then also Peyton Shiflett on the left side.
So Carpenter back to pass. He'll tuck it and run right away, get maybe a yard out of it as he looked down the field. And again, you know, he's been used to working with several different guys other than Ogle out there, and maybe the timing's not going to be right where he needs it to be, too.
Yeah, he's going to have a quick release tonight.
Oh, 2nd and 9. Cats will line up with Ogle to the left, 3 receivers to the right, and a 4-man defensive front with Myers offset in the backfield. Carpenter looks quickly to the right and then throws late to the left, and he'll have Ogle, who had to run a little comeback route to get open. He's working out there against Grady Kinsey, and Ogle will pick up about 5 on that game. Carpenter, as you said, he looked quickly to get rid of the ball to the right, but there was nothing going that way, and he came off that target real quick.
And instead of trying to force the ball, he's smart enough to look around for target number 2 or 3 and found Ogle on the sideline.
Call it 3rd and 6. Need to get out to the 43, pick up the first down here. Cats again, 1 by 3 in the wide receiver set. Out of the pistol set, they'll run the RPO and find Ogle across the middle. And that was a good read by Carpenter. He had the pitch man, but he also had Ogle on the hard slant. And he'll pick up enough for Bobcat first down. All the first downs brought to you by WB Green Insurance Company tonight. Just shy of midfield at the 47. Bobcats taking their time. Receiver setting right now in a 2-by-2 look, and Myers staying in the backfield. We said Wilson in there at the slot on the left side, and Schultz and Shaw on the right. Carpenter back to pass, fires it again in the left flat, and has his man, and that's Ogle, who will battle his way down near the 40-yard line. And that'll just a short 5 or 10 yard out, but Ogle did the rest with his legs and his body. And another WB Green first down for the Bobcat.
Well, and interesting that Indian Valley is just playing Devin Ogle one-on-one. No over-the-top help as of yet. And if you're going to play off of him 5, 6, 7 yards, he's going to continue to do that all night.
Owen Faulkner out there on him, and he's going to press him this time. And the safety help is inside.
Now, Faulkner is their best cover guy, so at least they had moved him over to Ogle.
Oh, 1st and 10, 4 down territory for the Bobcats. Back to pass, Carpenter again, flushed from the pocket, and he's going to go down all the way back at his own 49. Good rush up the field, and pressure by Tyson Pryor coming up on one side, and Riker Williams and Jackson Birch are there as well to pressure, and a big loss on the play of probably another 10 yards back, maybe 11.
If you can remember the name Tyson Pryor, he was the big basketball player for Indian Valley. When we covered the game last year, he took over the game, and we made the trip up there.
Yeah. So 2nd and 22 for the Cats. No score in the opening drive here. 1 by 3, look for the receivers. Carpenter fires it to the right, has his man inside the 40, break, and a tackle inside the 35.
Carpenter's pass complete to Nathan Schultz.
Nathan Schultz on the outside working to the middle, and the Cats get about 15 of that back, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6. So nice throw and catch, and Schultz that time he secured the ball, then got upfield a little bit.
Yeah, that's that dig route that we had seen Reed Johnson do so many times in that John Glenn game a couple weeks ago.
Cats work 3 receivers to the left this time, and Ogle, the outside man in that set. Cats got to be thinking, 2 plays here to try to get the first down or more, facing 3rd and 6. And Carpenter will take the snap, rolling to his left, fires it out there, and trying to hit his man on the outside. And did Ogle come down in bounds with it? I think where they're marking him, he did.
Yep.
He went to the ground, caught it, rolled out of bounds right around the 25, moved those sticks again for the Bobcats. 7th play of the drive, 3 first downs now, all courtesy of WB Green Insurance. And Cats being methodical here.
Hey, again, that first series, if you're going to give Garrett Carpenter enough time to be able to scan the field, he's going to get the ball to the open guy.
He'll direct traffic and find somebody. You're right.
For sure.
1st and 10 from the 24 of Indian Valley. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Myers in the backfield. And one-on-one coverage for Ogle. And again, they'll find him. And a flag comes in as Ogle takes a shot but carried defenders inside the 15. The flag came right into that holding area. Carpenter got rid of that ball quickly, but somebody for the Bobcats lineman there had to reach out and grab somebody awfully quick. And again, this is the thing you and I have talked about almost on a weekly basis that's killed him. And now it's his backup guys making those same mistakes. And you can almost expect some of those things happening because you got guys that are freshmen and sophomores playing against some seniors out there that the competition is a lot tougher for them.
Yeah, and the quickness, too, is going to be a big factor tonight. As I mentioned, Indian Valley's pretty quick. And that flag came out right away. So he must have broke the plane really quick and just caught the offensive lineman off guard.
Go back to 1st and 20. Cass been working to Ogle a lot as he's just getting single coverage, and he's got it again here. Carpenter will look that way again and go underneath. Diving attempt that time by Wilson comes up incomplete. And it will be 2nd and 20.
Let him just a little bit too much, just outside the reach of Wilson.
Now, we've seen this again, time and time again. The Cats, come out on it, whether they have scripted plays or they come out and they're hitting on target here early, but the closer they get to the goal line, the more they get backed up a little. 2nd and long.
Shrinks the field a little bit, makes it a little bit easier for the defense to be able to cover.
2-by-2 receiver set, actually 2-by-3 as the Cats go empty backfield here. Ogle to the left. They'll give him some space, and they'll fire it down the sideline to him and out of bounds as he got held up out there by Faulkner, who just got out in front of him and then just slowed down. And effectively taking him out of the play, and the ball sails out of bounds, incomplete, 3rd and long. Faulkner trying to force him into coverage with the safety coming over and helping, and that wasn't going to happen. The Cats back to the line of scrimmage quickly, and they'll go 1-by-3 here with Myers moving back into the backfield. 3rd and 20. You got to figure you want to get at least half of it here, right?
Yeah, and on 2nd down would have been nice to get 5, 6, 7 yards as well.
Carpenter looks right. A lot of guys come in, and he just goes down here. There was a host of defenders on him that time. Justin Caggett among them, along with Tyson Pryor, and Carpenter had nowhere to go. He'll lose another 8 or 10 yards and bring up 4th down. So a situation a moment ago where it looked like the Cats would have 4 downs maybe to pick up the 1st down. Now they may be thinking punting it down there and pinning Indian Valley back deep. And Carpenter does do that with some trepidation back there and gets rid of it. Wow. As McComb had run back there, but Carpenter forced to go to his left to punt that ball as there was a lot of guys in the backfield.
He was really lucky to get it off.
So the Braves will take over just outside their own 20-yard line, 7-17 remaining in the first period. No score as the Bobcats forced to punt that one away, and Indian Valley will start on their own 22. Sam Carter, the quarterback. Colton Thomas, Grady Kinsey. Let's see them in the backfield, and Carter joined by Kinsey this time out. And coming across in motion is Thomas. He'll get to the left edge, 20, 25. A flag in behind the play. That'd be a hold out on the edge. Yeah, one of the coaches told me before the game, don't expect to see Devin Ogle much on defense. And there he is on the very first defensive play.
That didn't take long.
So Indian Valley caught with the penalty on the first play of the night.
And I doubt
back
that's
him up 10.
the last time you'll see Colton Thomas with the ball coming across the field. Like I said, they're going to try to get him the ball any way that they can. He's a playmaker, their best playmaker back from last year. Again, give Kinsey all the credit in the world because, as you'll see as this game goes, he's really good. But Colton Thomas is definitely the difference maker.
Kinsey slotted to the right. Thomas in the backfield. He'll take the direct snap out of the Wildcat here to the 15, out to the 20. And a bunch of those camo jerseys hop on his back there and bring him down around the 23. So he got back a lot of that penalty yardage, almost to the original line of scrimmage, and then one. So a pickup of about 11. Big bodies up front for the Braves. Stryker, David Stryker, O'Connor, Peterman, Smith, and Wrench across the front five.
Sounds like a lineman.
Full house backfield. And the keeper, this time by Thomas. Check that, not Thomas, but the keeper actually that time by Riker Williams, huh?
I think that was Carter.
Carter? I got Carter as 2. I thought that was.
Wasn't that 2?
I guess it was. Maybe are they wearing camo jerseys too? I don't know. So. That's a first down for the Braves, so I'm having trouble with that one. Yeah, that was pretty nifty, though. I figured keeping the ball like that had to be Thomas, but Cats will bring some extra defenders here as Thomas rolls to his right, finds his man, and that is going to be Colton Thomas. Completed inside Bobcat territory, and finally Wilson will corral him around the 40, but he was wide open right around the 50-yard line. And that'll move the sticks again for the Braves and put them in Bobcat territory. As successful as Indian Valley is running the ball, you wouldn't think they'd have to throw it a lot, but they mix it up pretty good.
Yeah, they mix it up a little bit. Carter's not, he doesn't throw the ball real deep down the field. It's usually little dinks and dunks, but that one's a 23-yard pickup, but good catch and run there by Thomas as well.
Kinsey offset to the right. He'll take the snap straight ahead inside the 40, still on his feet, and pops through, and he's gone. Just like that, no whistles, and he's going to take it in from 41 yards out. And a lot of guys stopped on the play. Kinsey did not. And a 41-yard TD for Grady Kinsey. He is the leading scorer on this team, and he'll add one more right there from 41 yards away.
Yeah, just kept the legs driving, and a lot of hands in there reaching, trying to grab some jerseys instead of grabbing those legs.
Extra point attempt, Tanya McComb. Holder, Cole Stevens. Good snap, he'll get it down, and a low line drive kick goes over the crossbars, and that will add one more. So the Braves strike quickly. They'll go 78 yards in just 4 plays, and Indian Valley leads at 7-0. We'll be back right after this.
Myra Shearer? Myra who?
Hi, I'm Myra Shire, and I'm running to be the next judge of the Cambridge Municipal Court. No matter how you pronounce my last name, most people know me as Myra, a dedicated public servant. Myra, the assistant law director. Myra, a community volunteer with my husband Jeff. If elected judge, I promise that I will serve Guernsey County with honesty and integrity. I respectfully ask for your vote on November 7th.
Vote Myra in November for Municipal Court Judge. Paid for by Myra Shire for Judge.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Back at McFarland Stadium, our first scoreboard update of the night. All of them brought to you by Doan Ford. 7-0 Indian Valley as Grady Kinsey would not be tonight. Boy, he popped through and then carried some defenders, and then I don't know whether they just quit trying to tackle him, or it looked like he had a little offensive help as a couple of guys helping him out of those tackles, and he went all the way.
He usually doesn't need a lot of help. He's got enough moves and quickness on his own, and toughness. You can see he's just driving those legs.
McComb for the Valentine kickoff here. This one's going to be short, popped up and taken by one of the up guys at the 35, and he'll go down pretty quickly.
Return for the Bobcats, stopped by Kyler Busick.
So right at the 37, the Cats will have their second possession of the night. trailing 7-0. Cats had the ball earlier for 9 plays and moved it about 60 yards, but could not finish that drive, and now find themselves down the score with 4:54 left here in the first quarter. Myers and Carpenter in the backfield, 3 wides left. Ogle, one-on-one coverage to the right side. Indian Valley adjusting defensively as Carpenter tried to roll to the left, went back to the right, threw that one into the right flat, and there was no one there. And defenders on him pretty quickly. Quake Beatty in the backfield that time to pressure Carpenter, and there is the flag, and no doubt that's going to be intentional grounding.
Yep.
The quickness of this defense has already become apparent as Carpenter's not having a chance to even get to the edge to throw the ball. And typically, the last couple games, we've seen him be able to break contain and get something out of nothing. Not that time.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to get to that outside, especially if you're going to have Pryor out there. He's quick enough to be able to get to that edge and push it back inside.
So backed up about 15 more. 2nd and 25 on the loss of down, and the Cats will go 4 wide here as Carpenter will take the snap rolling to his left, fires it in that left flat and through the hands of his intended receiver. That's Riley Wilson. He took a shot for it either way as Colton Thomas in pretty good coverage that time.
Carpenter's pass incomplete. Cam Cuspin on the coverage.
You see, they like to fly around on defense, and they're going to put a lick on you.
Braves wearing their white unis tonight with the dark blue helmets and red stripes. They do look like they move fast with those whites on. I tell you what, it's just a blur out there as the Cats face 3rd and long. Deep in their own territory at their own 22-yard line after the penalty. Carpenter stands in, releases it, gets it out, and completed to Ogle, and he'll go up high, pull it down, and work his way up near the 40-yard line. They'll mark him out actually at the 38. That's a gain of about 16 or 17, but it will bring up 4th down for the Cats.
51 yards receiving already for Devin Ogle, 5 receptions.
And the Cats staying in the offensive look here. That doesn't mean they won't punt. The last time they were lucky to get that one away, and Carpenter will step back a couple of steps. He'll take the short snap, one step it, and float it up there, and catching it on the run is McComb out to the 40, near the 50 and into Cat territory, 40-yard line, and a flag comes in as McComb bumped out of bounds near the Cambridge 35, but a flag on the field. Indian Valley was not fooled by the formation or the strategy to pooch kick it for the Cats there, and a block in the back is going to bring that one back a little bit, but it's still going to be great field position with Indian Valley leading 7-zip. McComb caught that on the dead run and was at midfield before anybody got a hand on him.
Yeah, and he's got some quickness too. He's a good player, good baseball player. He's one of just a couple guys on this roster that we met in the district finals a few months ago.
So they'll mark it at the Bobcat 49-yard line, even with the penalty, so plus yardage here. Carter takes the snap, drops back, fires it right side, has his man there, Thomas. He'll haul it down to the 40, 30, break another tackle inside the 20, and a foot race to the pylon, and he's going to win that. And there is a flag on the field near the 30-yard line. So, boy, you got to see Colton Thomas's athleticism there, but the officials are all saying bring it back. And they'll have to redo that again. 10 yards from the spot of the foul will still make it about a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, you see the athleticism. He made a couple guys miss and used those legs to be able to get into the end zone.
I'm not sure anybody got a hand on it.
Right.
He weaved through that defense with
He's a pretty special football player.
pretty.
Like I said, you're going to hear his name a lot. They get it to him any way they can.
He comes in with 17 receptions on the season. Kinsey in motion will take the jet sweep left side. He'll get it inside the 40, break a tackle down near the 30, have the first down, still on his feet, still not on the ground. And finally, a little extra effort by the defense gets him down near the 25. And a first down by the Braves. Explosive plays by the Braves between Kinsey and Thomas. Both those guys are perpetual motion.
Yeah, if Bobcat fans can remember last year's game, they broke some real long runs as well.
Thomas in motion left to right. And they'll flip it to him in the right flat and just a little too far out ahead of him as Cambridge got some pressure in the backfield that time. Looked like Aiden Bond up the field a little bit, forcing a quick pass, and 2nd and 10. Stops the clock with 3:44 remaining in the opening period. 7-0 Indian Valley, and looking for more here. 2nd and 10. Again, Thomas will wing out to the left side. Kinsey in the backfield. Here comes Thomas in motion. He'll go straight across, and they'll look to him there. Carter, plenty of time. Breaks contain, and then taken down from behind. And for the Bobcats, Riley Homko with the sack. So a loss of 3 or 4 on that play. Carter taking his time, didn't feel the pressure coming from behind him.
Yeah, he had all day to be able to pick somebody downfield to be able to find and just held on to it a little bit too long. Credit the Cats for not giving up that defensive line to be able to put pressure on him.
3rd and 14. They'll spread the field a wide way left and right. Colton Thomas in the backfield with Kinsey. And he'll take the direct snap straight ahead. Lots of blockers there. And he'll be caught from behind there as he got stacked up in the line. I think, again, that's going to be Homko. Or that's Quillen. Cody Quillen comes in as the leading tackler for the Bobcats. Should be no surprise. He's going to be around the ball most of the time. And it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th and about 6. A running clock with 2.5 left here in the opening period. And the Braves trying to keep this drive alive. Pryor in the backfield, along with Carter. 3 wide to the left. And he'll flip it out into the flat to Kinsey. He hauls it into 20. Open field to the 15, 10, and inside to 5. Kinsey's going to take it for a first down and goal to go. Quillen and Wilson combined for the stop, but simple play, just get it to a playmaker and some space and let him go, right?
Yep, exactly.
1st and goal from the 4. Kinsey in the backfield, Pryor behind him. Carter under center. And they will entice the Bobcats into the dead zone there.
Now this is usually where you see Kinsey as that fullback. It's either a quick hitter right to him or he'll sneak through the line and go out into the flats here for a pass from Carter.
Yeah, and Carter under center, something you haven't seen very many teams do anymore, is actually put somebody up to the line of scrimmage and he'll go there again. 2 tight ends. 2 receivers to the right, and the hand back to the deep back, and that's going to be Pryor straight into the end zone, huh? Tyson Pryor. 6'2", 185, head of steam, made it look easy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody touched him until he hit the ground.
So a 2-yard run for Pryor, and McComb on again for the extra point attempt. Last one was good, but low. Low snap here. He'll boot this one, and that's not going to get up high enough to get through. Cat might have got a hand on that one, as it was never going to be high enough to go through. So the Braves extend their lead 13-0. 1:25 left here, still in the first period. We'll take the break on WLE 97.7. More football coming up right after this.
Attention all car seekers, ready to find the perfect new or used car? Look no further than Troy Blair at Dunning Motor Sales, where expert assistance awaits you. Troy Blair is a proud alum of the Meadowbrook Colts. Let him guide you to your dream ride. Troy will ensure you drive away in style with all your questions answered. So don't wait another moment. Visit Dunning Motor Sales today. Experience the difference Troy Blair can make in your car buying journey. You'll be hitting the road in your new vehicle in no time. 740-255-2334.
Welcome back, McFarland Stadium with 1:25 to go in the first period. Still, Indian Valley has their second score of the night. This one, Tyson Pryor from a couple of yards out. The extra point attempt was no good. Your Doan Ford scoreboard update makes it 13-0 Indian Valley. And the Valentine Insurance kickoff coming up. Macomb here, a chance to maybe warm up. And actually, they're going to let another guy handle it here.
Well, Macomb's last one only went about
Jaden
20 yards.
Galasasia. Is that 30 or 36?
It looks like 30. 30, that's correct.
Galasasia. And he'll kick it deep. It's going to bounce once and through the wickets of the Bobcats, Isaiah Maley. And he's chased it back inside the 5. Gets up to the sideline, 10, 15, 20, and up the left sideline, finally knocked out of bounds. Brogan O'Connor, and a flag came in behind that play. One of the Bobcats there with a little extracurricular.
A little pushing and shoving there.
Offsetting unsportsmanlike, so the Cats will take over their own 32. First time we've seen Isaiah Mail back there, and he wasn't prepared for the bounce that football took.
No, definitely not.
Not a shortstop, apparently. 1:14 to go in the first period. Cats trail by 2 scores, and they'll take over at their own 32. Wilson across in motion, 1-by-3 look as Carpenter rolls that way, fires it in the flat, and one hops it down the field, short of his intended man. Second and 10. You just see the process here for Carpenter, that this game is that you have that internal clock we talked about. It's sped up a little bit here in this first period as he's forced to get rid of the ball a little quicker than he normally has. Catches it, throws it here, and in and out of the hands of Wilson, just shy of the 40. He would have had about 5 or 6. But Carpenter keeping it down low, and Wilson unable to come up with it, makes it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, those short, quick passes, I mean, you got to give him a little bit of help. You're going to have to complete those if you want to be able to move the ball.
Carpenter looks left again for Ogle. This one tipped underneath. When you go back there several times, Deacon Trimmer this time got a piece of it, and it falls incomplete. It looks like on the outside, Ogle only has one guy on him, but as soon as he starts in motion off the line of scrimmage, there's guys going where he's at.
Yeah, they're definitely going to cheat towards him, that's for sure.
So 4th down. Carpenter will roll to his right, and there's that rugby punt as he kicks it back deep. Macomb will call the fair catch this time, as the Cats had pretty good coverage down the field, and Macomb will haul it in at the 40, and the Braves will force the Bobcats into a 3-and-out. Cats have had it 3 times and forced the punt 3 times. The Braves 2 possessions, and they both ended in touchdowns, and they'll start this drive with 52 seconds left at their own 40-yard line. Kinsey in the backfield, 3 wide, split to the right, along with Carter in the gun. And Carter back to pass. Lots of time. Steps up, fires it deep down the left side, and tipped up. And then nearly caught on the rebound. Good coverage by the Bobcats.
Eric Golder, is that 25 on the
I'm looking, buddy.
target?
Schultz breaks up the pass intended for Eric Golder, brings up 2nd and 10 for the Braves.
They had good coverage that time, but tipping the ball up in the air a good way to see a special play happen sometimes.
and Gorder almost came down with it.
He did. So 2nd and 10. Pryor deep in the backfield. Carter will go under center this time with Kinsey at the fullback spot. And they'll run the reverse back inside, coming back to Thomas. He'll get to the outside, break a tackle, get up the sideline. Another tackle's frayed through and inside the Cambridge 40-yard line.
Picks up a first down, brought down by Quillen for the Bobcats.
Colton Thomas, a brave first down. He had a lot of that on his own.
Yeah, 3 rushes, 43 yards for Thomas already. You'll notice that the offensive linemen, once they get a hold of you, they don't let go. I mean, they hold their blocks as long as possible. They cleared the end over there. Devin Ogle couldn't get away from his guy. He even spun around in circles and still couldn't get away from him.
Kinsey, the deep back. Thomas will go out wide right. Carter under center, hands it off. Kinsey explodes off the right side, 35 down to the 30, cuts back to the 20, and then turns them on down the sideline. Just a little inside move, and then had the ability to explode and takes it all the way in from 36 yards out. Kinsey, his second long-range score. This one from 36, an earlier one from 41, and that will be the final play of the opening period. We'll get to a break after the extra point, but Indian Valley scoring for the 3rd time here as McComb comes on to try another extra point attempt.
92 yards for Kinsey already and 2 scores.
Snaps good, holds on the tee, and McComb will get this up and drill it through. We'll take the break for the quarter, get you updated on scores, but this one stands 20-0 Indian Valley. We'll be back right after this.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Hey, Cambridge, your local Dunkin' is hiring. And while everybody knows that America runs on Dunkin', not everyone knows what Dunkin' runs on. We run on incredible crew members, flexible working hours, community spirit, career opportunities, affordable education opportunities, owners that work with you, and a whole lot of other perks. Want to come run with us? Text DONUTSCOLES, that's Donuts Coles, to 85000. America runs on Dunkin', and Dunkin' runs on you. Cambridge Dunkin' is locally owned and operated.
Back at McFarland Stadium, 20-0. You're doing Ford scoreboard update. Belchase back on for the Valentine Insurance kickoff. He'll squib this one off the left side. Ball loose on the ground, then picked up by Quillen, who will immediately be hit at the 36-yard line.
Quillen on the return.
Eric Golder with the hit on special teams. So with 11:56 left in the opening half, Bobcats down 20-0. Cats have had decent starting position each time, somewhere on the 30 to the 40. This one will be at the 35. But the last 2 drives, it seems like the Braves have figured out what they need to do to defend.
Well, and 6 out of 7 incomplete passes for Garrett Carpenter, too. A couple drops in there, and the defense putting a little bit of pressure on him.
2 backs in the backfield with Carpenter. A little extra protection. He'll pump fake it, throw it high down the field to Ogle, and he'll go up high and bring it down. Coverage down there by McComb. They had him double covered that time, bumped him off the line. He went down and then came back for it, and that'll be another Bobcat first down, courtesy of WB Green Insurance. But Cambridge continuing to go at Ogle every chance they can.
Well, and when he can make plays like that, why wouldn't you? I mean, there's not too many guys on the field that's going to be able to out-jump him for a ball.
Yeah, Devin Ogle at 6'2". They list him at about 190. So he's strong enough to go up and pull it down and get his hands on it first, and he did it that time. 1st and 10 from the Braves' 46-yard line. Handoff straight ahead for the Cats, and If I'm not mistaken, that's the first design run that the Cats have had tonight. Clayton Myers.
Clayton Myers on the carry for the Bobcats.
Got it forward for about 4.
Myers
Riker.
coming into the game 9 carries, but yet to have a positive yard.
Yeah.
Now
Riker.
he's in the positive.
Riker Williams on the stop defensively. Hey, you got to do that every once in a while. Just keep the defense honest, right?
Well, sure, because you know it might open up there and you get a quick hitter.
2nd and 6. Down 3 scores, probably 4 down situation for the Cats already. As Myers offset to the left of Carpenter, 2-by-2 receiver set. Carpenter looks quickly to the right, and he was throwing the quick out to Ogle, and I'm not sure they were on the same page that time as Ogle was heading down the field. And as soon as he saw the ball in the air, I think he knew that he was supposed to be coming back to it. So 3rd down. And he had some space out there that time, too.
Yeah, that's why you kind of think, well, maybe Carpenter saw the space and then he threw it to where he thought Ogle was going to go, just because that's where the opening was.
Yeah, they're sophisticated enough to know that if the defender drops with you, you're going to come back, right?
Right.
3rd and 6. Carpenter again. Pressure this time, throws short underneath and incomplete there. Lots of pressure that time prior. And there along with Cam Guspett. And it'll bring up 4th down. The Cats facing 4th and 6 here. As Carpenter puts 3 guys into the short side on the right. Ogle on the outside there, and 1 guy wide to the left with one-on-one coverage. 4-man defensive rush. Carpenter throws it down the right side, and again trying to go up and get it to Ogle, and he went up, and they'll say no, that he came down. He caught the ball, but his foot was out of bounds. It was going to be close either way, but the official just down the line there said he stepped out of bounds, so the Bobcats will turn it over on downs. And just inches away from extending that drive.
Yeah, definitely inches. It looked like it from here. I saw green in between his feet, but the great thing about the fine camera work of Brett Klein and Brock Valentine, I'm sure we'll see a close-up
Well, we've
here.
got the replay coming up on our instant replay. As you can see, Carpenter drop back and just lob it up there. And
look for some green around
those
toes.
Green, and that looked like that toe might have been right on the white there.
It's
So
real
it was
close.
pretty close. And the Valley starts at their own 42. Quick flip out in the flat to Colton Thomas. He'll catch it and outrun everybody to the end zone all the way down. 58 yards. I don't see flags on the play. And Indian Valley, a one-play, big play, touchdown again. And Colton Thomas, the recipient this time, just took the swing pass and turned the afterburners on up the sideline. And just like that, Indian Valley extends their lead.
And that was freshman Riker Williams with the touchdown pass.
Oh, okay. He flipped it out there. Wasn't Carter throwing it, no?
No, it was number 8.
So McComb on for the extra point attempt. And this one tapped at the line of scrimmage. Cats got a hand on that one and block it with 9:59 to go. Score stands 26-0. Indian Valley on top of the Cats. We'll take the break. More high school football action coming up on WLE right after this.
Cambridge Auto Sales would like to wish all the local football teams good luck this football season. Visit Cambridge Auto Sales for reliable vehicles at unbeatable prices. You'll find great selection, top-notch service, and amazing deals at your local Buy Here, Pay Here dealer. Come check out their selection of pre-owned vehicles today. For more information, give them a call, 740-255-5344, or visit their website, cambridge-autosales.com. Go Bobcats!
Back at McFarland Stadium, first half action, 9:59 remaining here in the first half, and Indian Valley scores again, this one quickly. Thomas taking a pass from Riker Williams, and he did the rest himself. And extending the lead 26-0. Another Valentine Insurance kickoff coming up. Jaden Dalasasia
You've been waiting all night to say that.
I have. Well, I practiced that one in the pregame, and Jaden will hit this one short. It's going to be taken by one of the upbacks at the 30-yard line. Looked like Nathan Schultz got it there and took it straight up near the 40. So returned that one straight up the field and got about 10 out of it. So the Cats will take over their 5th possession of the night. Starting at their own 38. So a ways to go here, and they have not been able to sustain anything since that opening drive tonight. But it seems like the only thing they've been able to do is if they can consistently get the ball to Devin Ogle, they've got a shot here.
Yeah, 16 times Carpenter's thrown the ball up, and he's hit Devin Ogle 6 of those times.
He's been targeted probably half of them, I'd say.
He's been targeted 10 of them.
And the Cats snapped the ball without Carpenter looking there and hit him in the face mask and on the ground. Did the Cats get it back?
And we got a timeout.
The Cats fortunately able to take a timeout there before that ball was actually snapped. But that had disaster written all over it, too. Again, young guys playing for the first time tonight, we're not all on the same page. So that was, what can go wrong? Just about anything can go wrong, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was, thank goodness, Coach Leak was halfway on the field with yelling at the official. He wanted the timeout, so they granted it to him.
9:45 still remaining here in the opening half. Indian Valley has been all they were touted to be, as they have scored in every possession tonight. Grady Kinsey got a couple of them. Tyson Pryor from short yardage, but Colton Thomas, he's had, half dozen touches tonight. One for a touchdown call back on another long play, but he hadn't been touched very often.
No, he has not. 3 rushes for 43 yards, 3 receptions for 90 yards.
Carpenter on the draw play, straight ahead to Myers. Not much that time. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Brent Smith on the stop for a loss of 1. Cats, 3 receivers to the right. Ogle alone to the left side. And he'll draw Owen Faulkner there one-on-one. Although the safety shaded to that hash as well. So if Ogle runs an inside route, he's going to have company. 9 minutes left and counting here as Carpenter will roll to his right, trying to get it to the edge, fired out in that right flat. Have Riley Wilson out across the 35 near the 38. Wilson didn't get down the field very far there, and he might have got back to the line of scrimmage before he hauled that one in.
Looks like he might have gained
a yard. Got a yard out of it.
Well, right, they're marking it right at, yeah, there it goes. Yep, 3rd and 9.
Got to the 39, give him 2 yards.
Yep.
Got 2 yards out of that play. 2-by-2 receiver set here, 3rd and 9. Carpenter checking the sideline for the play adjustment. Ogle wide left on the outside and has some room up that left sideline if he gets it that way.
There's a long throw to be able to fade that
from the right hash, across the field.
Yep.
Carpenter steps up, fires it down the right side, and Schultz, the intended receiver, McComb in coverage. And that one thrown out of bounds, and it'll be 4th down. So 4th and 9. McComb, if he sneaks back, he is going to sneak back here, expecting the punt. As Carpenter takes a snap, and again, will soccer style it again. And good one that's going to bounce inside the 20, inside the 10, still rolling down to about the 4-yard line. Carpenter that time got all of that one.
Had a nice end-over-end rotation, and it hit perfect.
On this turf field, that you're going to get that roll sometime tonight. That one rolled out as McComb was anticipating the punt was coming, but it was over his head. And it's going to make the Braves go the distance here. From their own 4-yard line, leading 26-0.
And Grady Kinsey's just licking his chops. He says, that means I get to go.
Further to go.
A lot longer.
Carter's going to go under center here from his own 4. Pryor, the deep back. And they'll hand it off to Pryor, and he'll bang his way out across the 5-10, still on his feet near the 15 as the pile just got shoved. And that should move the sticks there. And it does. Pryor, their short yardage back, he's going to step out here.
Trying to get his football legs back. It's been several years since he's played high school football, but they're excited to have him this year.
Oh, Colton Thomas will spread the field wide to the right, 2 receivers to the left. And there's the snap. Before they were expecting it, Kinsey will hustle back on it. He'll pick it up at the goal line, out to the 5, the 10, the 20-yard line. The flag on the play. Kinsey stacked up around the 20, still on his feet, breaks free, and he's gone. There will be nobody catching him here. The only difference is whether or not that flag is on Indian Valley. And there is a flag on the far sideline near the 15-yard line. And he picked it up right at the goal line, man. Broke a couple of tackles. And one thing, if you haven't learned from... Yeah, Colton Thomas is going to ruin that play. He was spread out wide that play and was not set when the ball was snapped, which the ball was snapped early.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
Thomas wasn't expecting the snap.
Right.
Nobody was except the center.
Not Thomas's fault. Nobody was ready for that except for the center.
And how many times do you see, I expected Kinsey to just fall on it, being an experienced player, go back here, just fall on it. You got a big lead. Don't take a chance there, but instead,
I told you
I don't have his wheels either.
No, definitely not.
It was still a highlight, even though it won't be
Sure
on
was.
the scoreboard. A highlight of the night right there. Picked up the fumble, rumbled 99.5 yards. So they'll bring the ball back to the line of scrimmage, mark off the 5-yard penalty, and spot it at the 11-yard line. 6:45 left here, first half, 26-0 Indian Valley. Kinsey's already scored twice from long range, 41 and 36 yards. That would have put him
wow,
maybe over the 200-yard mark on the night already.
It would have been real close, yeah. He's at 92 before that play.
Wow. Get the oxygen ready for me.
Tired just watching him run down there.
Spot at the Cambridge 11, 1st and 15. Braves have had, that's their 3rd penalty on offense. But, hey, with this offense, they've got the playmakers to overcome a lot of that. Thomas will be spread out wide to the right. Similar formation as they had a moment ago. Carter in the backfield with Pryor. He'll throw it to the left to McComb on the screen. And McComb stacked up just shy of the 15-yard line.
Carter pass complete to McComb, brought down by Schultz.
Got a couple where the Bobcats. Schultz brought him down. 2nd down and 12.
You heard a little Jimmy Buffett there on the on the speakers. Too bad that we lost a legend this week.
I've had him queued up on my playlist all week.
Yeah, right.
Carter under center this time. Twin receivers to the right. Hands off to Pryor, the deep back, and Pryor tripped up right at the line of scrimmage, fell forward for a couple. Damian Shaw on the stop for the Cats. Give him 3 on the carry, but 3rd and 9. Now for the Braves. They've been able to do so many different things here. Throw it down the field. The swing pass has been successful for them, but certainly just getting the ball to Kinsey or Thomas in space makes you look like a great play caller.
Yeah, I don't know if they've had a 3rd down play yet this game, so interesting to see what play they come up with
here. I think they did in their 2nd drive. They had 8 plays in that drive, and they'll throw this one out to Thomas. Katz will get out on him. 2 missed tackles. A 3rd one still on his feet and up the sideline. He'll have that 1st down. 3 Bobcats had shots at him. that would have been no gain or very little gain, and Thomas able to slip several of those tackles, get up the sideline, and get the first down and keep the drive alive.
Wow. Heading in the backfield for a loss.
And if you weren't with us earlier, the Bobcats short-handed tonight offensively and defensively. Got a lot of different guys playing that have played at all this year. And certainly in a couple of those situations defensively.
And Thomas came off the field a little gimpy on that play.
Pryor stays in the backfield. He'll take the handoff up the right side, pops it through into the secondary, and off to the races. Down to the 30, 20. He'll take it to the bank here as he was able to downshift heading into the end zone from the 28-yard line. 72-yard run. So Pryor added to the scoring list there. Tyson Pryor showed a little bit of speed, huh?
Yeah, well, he's got some wheels, and you see why they were pretty excited that he decided to come back out and play some football this year.
McComb on for the extra point attempt. Snaps low. The hold's there, though. The kick is up, and it's good. McComb will tack this one on, make it 33-0. 4:57 left here in the first half. We'll take the quick 30 and be back with more right after this.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC.
Back at McFarland Stadium, still first half action, 4:57 left here in the opening half, 33-0. In Valley, your Doan Ford scoreboard update to Tyson Pryor, 72-yard run to cap off a 4-play, 96-yard drive, aided by the Colton Thomas first down jaunt. That drive could have been ended there as Dallas Asia comes on for the Valentine Insurance kickoff. And this one hit short again. It's going to go to Schultz at the 30. Straight up the field and picks his way across the 35 before contact takes him down near the 37. So since their opening drive, the Bobcats have been stalled offensively. They've punted it 4 times and one drive ending on downs. And they'll start here at their own 37.
Carpenter's put the ball up 18 times so far in this first half.
He's been pretty much on target for many of them, but he's faced a lot of pressure tonight as the 4-man front getting to him a little bit. And this one thrown underneath, tipped up, and nearly picked off. That time, stepping in front of it, Quake Beatty. He was looking at the goal line, I think, as soon as that ball hit his hands, because there was nobody in front of him. He cut underneath a Bobcat receiver out there that time, and if he comes down with it, it was gone. So Cats dodge a bullet with that one. Bunch receivers to the right. Carpenter will flip it out there to Wilson, who will haul it in the backfield and get it up near the 40, across the 40 to the 41. A gain of a few before the defense collapses on him.
I like it. You want to get some more momentum, short, quick passes like that, get it out to your guys and let them try to make a play.
Yeah, make the defense chase you around a little bit. Looks like the Braves got some backups in a couple spots already defensively. Cats facing 3rd and 7 here with a running clock approaching 4 minutes, down 33-0. 2-by-2 receiver set. Carpenter will throw it down the right sideline and have it right near Well, he caught it, I thought, near the line to gain, but he was driven backwards a little bit. It's going to be just short of that. They'll mark it at the 46. Originally, I thought he caught it near the 48 and might have even stepped out of bounds there. But
yeah, I think you're right. That they should have probably given him an extra yard or two there.
So 4th and 2. Cats have punted it in this situation a couple of times, but see what they do here. Can't get the defense to jump offside. And McComb's going to look to rotate back.
Yeah, there's no punting
the
this
Cats
time.
got some motion in play. Carpenter will
Yeah,
take
there
the
is.
snap, and he will boot this one. This one doesn't get the end-over-end roll, and it actually takes a brave bounce from inside the 30 back out near the 34.
Jeez. And and he picked it up. Quick Beatty there picked it up. Boy,
Quick Beatty, well, he didn't get the pick six, so he was going to try to get something else going.
I don't think Coach is going to be real excited about that.
Yeah, probably not the best decision, but when you're ahead 33-0, you can get away with a lot of those things.
That's true.
2:52 left in the half. The Quakers, or the Braves, well, I got Quake on my mind now.
They kind of look like the Quakers.
Yeah, they
down
do
there.
tonight a little bit, don't they? From their own 34-yard line, Inner Valley's going to take over with the lead and the ball. And the way they have scored quickly tonight, there's plenty of time left for them.
Looks like we got a timeout by the Braves.
We'll take the timeout with them. I invite you to stay tuned and catch more on our YRPT streaming broadcast with John Valentine, Bill Kafuri tonight. We'll be back right after this.
I'm not buying till I check on Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Back at McFarland Stadium, final minutes of the first half. Indian Valley on top 33-0, and the ball on their own 34-yard line. Some of our sponsors for tonight's game: Guernsey County Sportsman Association, Cambridge Overhead Door, West 40 Auto Sales, WB Green Insurance. As the Braves get it up the field, a quick snap and up to the 44 and a first down. So Carter, a quick pass out there. First and 10. Braves working their 2-minute offense. Carter. Riker Williams in motion. He'll take the handoff up the right side, work his way across the 50, still on his feet inside the Bobcat 40-yard line. Eric Golder that time, actually. Golder on the carry. And another first down and a chunky yardage down to the Cambridge 39. Ogle playing some defense, came up with a stop that time.
That's Golder's 7th rush on the season. 36 yards coming into tonight.
Clock still ticking away. Indian Valley has 2 timeouts remaining. As Carter goes under center, hands it straight back to the deep back. I believe Pryor just got his oxygen mask off a moment ago, and he'll pick up 4 or 5.
Pryor now the leading rusher for the Braves. 94 yards on 5 carries. Kenzie's got 92.
A 72-yarder will do that for you.
Yes, it will.
2nd and 5, 1:12 remaining in the half. And the Braves trying to strike one more time here from the Bobcat 34-yard line. Colton Thomas wide to the right. Carter out of the shotgun, hands it off straight ahead to Kinsey. He'll break tackles inside the 30, 20, 15, 10, end zone. Kinsey, this time from 34 yards out.
I spoke too soon.
I mean, the guy acts like he doesn't want you to touch him because I'm not sure Bobcat
Right.
got a hand on him that time. And in Valley striking again, their 6th score of the night. This one with 50 seconds left in the half. 4 plays.
Man, service in the press box tonight.
We're getting it, aren't we? Huh?
Yeah, we are.
Very good. And the extra point attempt, flags come in as the snap was bad, picked up by the holder, Cole Stevens, and he ran it in, but there is a flag holding on the offense. So they'll bring this one back. And the Valley has possessed the ball 6 times and scored touchdowns all 6 possessions. At this point, the second half will start with a running clock, huh?
That is correct. 30-point differential in Ohio would be the running clock. Technically, second half, coaches in the first half can agree to wind it if they'd like.
So Macomb going to be backed up, and they'll try the extra point attempt from the 20-yard line to be a 30-yard attempt. And this one hits the crossbar and bounces away. So no good on the extra point attempt. But In the Valley retains that 39-0 edge. We'll take the break. Kickoff coming up right after this.
Hey football fans, Laborers, Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
Back in McFarland Stadium, a game that has been all Indian Valley since the outset. Grady Kinsey, 3 touchdown runs here in the first half. And a host of others joining in the fun for the Braves as they've extended their lead 39-0. Your Doan Ford scoreboard update and a Valentine Insurance kickoff. Dallas Shazy kicks this one deep. Mail's going to have to chase it down inside the 10. Fakes to his left, back to the right side, gets it out to the 20, breaks a tackle near the 20 and out to the 26. Isaiah Mail, he's seeing a lot of stuff tonight. The short kicks, the ones that bounce through your legs, and then that one over his head. So the Cats will have 41 seconds left to play out this first half. Starting from their own 27-yard line. Indian Valley won the toss and deferred, so they will get the ball to start the second half as well. Gardner brings his team out, 2-by-2 receiver set. Takes the snap, hands it off straight ahead, and then Myers will get it out near the 30. Gain of about 3 on that first down play, get the clock running, and maybe head to the locker room here, regroup. Cats 10 plays in their opening drive, but they came up short there. A penalty set them back and ended up punting. And from that point on, they haven't had a drive that's really seriously threatened to score. And the Cats are going to be able to let the clock run here. Let's see if Carpenter will take a snap before the clock runs out. He will not. And that'll take us to halftime. Indian Valley on top, 39-0. As we head to the halftime break, stick around. Our one-end halftime show coming up here at the stadium. They will honor the Hall of Fame inductees, Tom Buck Hollins, Al Zip Joseph, Carl Dupler, and Stephen Ford III. That action taking place here at the stadium. We'll be back to talk about that, first half action, and more. After these messages, we'll see you then.
I was sitting in my car, and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood, and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio, I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of a guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tonight in High School Football's halftime reports. As we like to do from time to time, we'll visit different areas of the state and talk some football in specific regions. Tonight it is Central Ohio. We'll talk with Lee Cochran about that next on the Ohio News Network.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Beck's, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Beck's, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more.
I'm Ohio Education Association President Scott DeMauro, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we're proud to bring you tonight's game. Our members are the public school educators who coach your kids on and off the field, because we believe in the potential of every student and their right to a high-quality public education, no exceptions. That's why we will continue to speak in one voice to demand the supports and resources our public schools need, because public education matters.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids. At Beck's, they are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game. We're talking a little Central Ohio high school football this evening, where Lee Cochran has covered that for decades. And Lee, let's begin with Division I Region 3, which is loaded as it always is. We knew Gahanna would be good. The Pickerington and Hilliard schools are all good. Is there a for sure cream of the crop there?
Well, the way I look at it, as you said, I've been here for decades. My first year was covering in 1992, and I've seen the growth of Central Ohio football. And there's parity, but it's upper level parity. It's not 500 parity. It's teams that can go 8-2, 9-1, 10-0 every year. I mean, you look right now. Going into tonight's action, you got Pickerington North. You mentioned Gahanna, Hilliard Davidson, Hilliard Bradley. And look, with former high state quarterback Stanley Jackson, Westerville North's off to its best start in probably 2-3 decades. Yes. I mean, it's been amazing. But there's just, you look at even some of the second, the teams we've lost, Pickerington Central, Upper Arlington. Those are teams that are making runs every year, and they're going to make runs again this year.
Olentangy is in Region 2, and I know they're off to a nice start.
I like them. They've got, they're running 4 running backs, and so they're pretty good. And they've got a dynamite quarterback too. You look there, and a little bit of a surprise team, I think, right now is Delaware Hayes. I don't know if they can sustain it. Perrysburg is right there. Kaufman kind of opened my eyes a little bit with the win over Centerville, and they had Kent McKinley. They were leading that game last week and lost that. But I think Kaufman's going to make a step. And the one team, Skip, you just can't forget about. You brought up Olentangy. I'll bring up Olentangy Liberty. They're 0-3. They were 0-3 last year too. They ended up 8-6. And playing in a regional final. Don't count out the Patriots. Yeah, it's a mistake if you do that.
Division II, Region 7. Nice starts to begin the season for Briggs and St. Charles. Same thing in Division III, Region 11. How about Watterson and Hamilton Township?
Yeah, Watterson won the CCL last year for the first time since I think it was 2012. Is Watterson the team to beat? It's going to be tough. They lost a lot. but they're playing well. Hamilton Township's always that sneaky team that they'll have a couple okay seasons and then pop up a little bit. So again, a little bit, the only team that they played heading into tonight's game with a win was Lancaster. But again, they're winning all their games and they're winning them big.
Let's move down to Division 4, Region 15. Many that we're used to seeing there, but Columbus East and Bishop Reedy off to a good start. Kentrell Reinhardt from Reedy has put up some monster numbers the first 3 games.
Yeah, right. He had 6 touchdowns the first week, 7 the second week, and he only had 3 last week. So, I mean, that's 16 touchdowns. That's a career for most guys. I'm waiting to see what Hartley does. Hartley, had 9 out of 10 years with double-digit wins. And then the last 3 years, they've been a combined 20 and 14 heading into this year. They lost to Blue Carroll, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they had a lot of turnovers. They'd have a big play and then a turnover. So we'll see. We'll see about Bishop Hartley.
And amongst the smaller schools, Lee, Columbus Academy, Harvest Prep, and West Jeff. Among those, who should we keep our eyes on?
Harvest Prep. I like Academy too. This is such a good region. You with Ironton there as well, but I like Harvest Prep a lot. I've debated in my head who's the best chance for Central Ohio to get a state champion. Gahanna had some kids transfer to help rebuild that defense. You look at Bloom Carroll's made a run to the state final last year. But, man, I tell you what, right now, I think Harvest Prep might be the best shot. Size-wise, they're a Division 7 school, but, they had to move up to Division 5. But, man, I really like what Milan Smith's done there, and he continues to go. They're a team without a conference this year, too, Skip. I mean, that Mid-State League Ohio said, hey, we'll see you. And they formed their own and left them out.
He's covered Central Ohio high school football for decades. Lee Cochran, we always appreciate your time. Love talking high school football with you.
No problem, Skip. Have a good one.
And we'll be right back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Addison Blazer from United Local High School, for her commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
From the time I was a freshman, and I looked up to all the girls who were seniors, and we kind of still fit into the molds that they left us with.
Now Addison is a senior leader on her volleyball team and also in the community. She's on the yearbook committee, principals advisory council, and the president of NHS and 4-H.
We do a lot of food stands. A church in our area always does a pancake breakfast, and we always go and we serve that. So we made cards for nursing homes.
And of course, she loves the life of farming.
Agriculture is a huge way of life for me. My parents both grew up on farms. My school that I go to is very remote. Most people are farmers. It follows me around, really, and I love it.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
All right, thanks once again to Lee Cochran for joining us to talk a little Central Ohio high school football this evening. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Bex Hybrids. A reminder, you can listen to many of our affiliate broadcasts from across the state at onnradio.com from the Ohio News Network.
Cambridge Auto Sales would like to wish all the local football teams good luck this football season. Visit Cambridge Auto Sales for reliable vehicles at unbeatable prices. You'll find great selection, top-notch service, and amazing deals at your local Buy Here, Pay Here dealer. Come check out their selection of pre-owned vehicles today. For more information, give them a call, 740-255-5344, or visit their website, cambridge-autosales.com. Go Bobcats!
This is Ed with Cambridge Overhead Door. If you are building a new home or thinking about replacing your existing garage door, we can help. We have many styles and designs that will enhance the curb appeal of your home. Whether you want standard raised panel doors or our elegant accent wood grain doors that come in a variety of colors, stop by our showroom to see all our options. We are located on State Route 22 in Center beside the pantry door in Delhi. Or give us a call at 432-DOOR. That's 432-3667.
Wayne Door is Ohio's most complete one-stop shop for residential and commercial garage doors, entry doors, windows, and much more. In fact, the list keeps on growing. Garage doors, entry doors, storm doors, access entry systems, vinyl replacement windows, and stone are just some of the things Wayne Door has to offer. Stop by their Cambridge showroom to see their full lineup of premier products in person and work with their team of experts. Wayne Door also offers 24/7 emergency garage door service, and their service department is second to none. Wayne Door, more than just garage doors. Check them out at waynedoor.com.
Promises. You've heard them all. Peace of mind, quality insurance products, superior claim service, all at a fair and competitive price. Since 1848, Westfield Insurance has promised to provide excellent insurance coverage for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust. That is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers. For a quote on protecting your home, auto, and business, call W.B. Green Insurance today. W.B. Green, professional insurance.
Hunters, shooters, and gun collectors, bring your whole family to an evening of fundraising and firearms at the Guernsey County Sportsman Association banquet on Saturday, September 9th. There will be lots of guns and merchandise in their raffles and live auction. 100% of the proceeds benefit local youth shooting sports groups. That's Saturday, September 9th at Jurassic Park. Doors open at 5. Tickets are just $50 for adults and $15 for youth 17 and under. For more information, call Scott 740-801-1900 or go to yssff.org.
Back to school means back to early bedtimes. But I'm not tired. Fortunately, there's Pure Z's Kids, mindfully formulated to help your child fall asleep naturally when needed. Pure Z's Kids products are non-habit forming, drug-free, and available in liquid, chewable tablets, and gummies. Give them the rest to be their best. Bye, Mom! Pure Z's Kids, for ages 4 and up. Explore all Pure Z's Kids products at zquill.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze Fruit on the Go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut-rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
Attention all car seekers, ready to find the perfect new or used car? Look no further than Troy Blair at Dunning Motor Sales, where expert assistance awaits you. Troy Blair is a proud alum of the Meadowbrook Colts. Let him guide you to your dream ride. Troy will ensure you drive away in style with all your questions answered. So don't wait another moment. Visit Dunning Motor Sales today. Experience the difference Troy Blair can make in your car buying journey. You'll be hitting the road in your new vehicle in no time. 740-255-2334. Wayne Door is Ohio's most complete one-stop shop for residential and commercial garage doors, entry doors, windows, and much more. In fact, the list keeps on growing. Garage doors, entry doors, storm doors, access entry systems, vinyl replacement windows, and stone are just some of the things Wayne Door has to offer. Stop by their Cambridge showroom to see their full lineup of premier products in person and work with their team of experts. Wayne Door also offers 24/7 emergency garage door service, and their service department is second to none. Wayne Door, more than just garage doors. Check them out at waynedoor.com.
Myra Shearer? Myra who?
Hi, I'm Myra Shire, and I'm running to be the next judge of the Cambridge Municipal Court. No matter how you pronounce my last name, most people know me as Myra, a dedicated public servant. Myra, the assistant law director. Myra, a community volunteer with my husband Jeff. If elected judge, I promise that I will serve Guernsey County with honesty and integrity. I respectfully ask for your vote on November 7th.
Vote Myra in November for Municipal Court Judge. Paid for by Myra Shire for Judge.
Hey, football fans, laborers, Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of a guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Welcome back to McFarland Stadium. Halftime taking place here now. Brought to you by our Cambridge Auto Sales. Got our halftime report here. 39-0 your halftime score. Indian Valley scoring 3 times in the first period, 3 more in the second. And extending the lead there right down to the last few seconds. Grady Kinsey, 3 scores in the first half, a 41-yard run in the first period. Leighton in the first period, 36-yard run, and then finished things out right at the end of the first half with a 34-yard run in between. We saw Tyson Pryor pound it in from a couple yards out, take off for a 72-yard run with 4:57 to go in the half. And then somewhere in between there, Colton Thomas mixed one in there where he took a swing pass and went 58 yards for a touchdown. So a lot of Indian Valley offense in the first half. They mixed in some pretty good defense, too, to stop the Bobcats from extending any drive down where they could put points on the board and lead it pretty handily, 39-0, where we'll have a running clock to start the second half of action. But JV, I'm sure statistically the way they scored and how many yards they racked up certainly is going to make their statistics look pretty impressive as well for the first half.
Yeah, Indian Valley, 15 carries, 299 yards, and the 5 scores you talked about. So an average of 20 yards per carry. I mean, that's unheard of. And
did they have 2 scores brought back or just one? Maybe just the one by Colton Thomas?
They did have one by Thomas
2.
and Kinsey as well.
So
the real long one.
There's another 150 yards of offense that was negated there by a couple penalties.
Wow, that's crazy. But leading the way is Kinsey with 3 scores, as you mentioned. Only ran the ball 4 times, but 136 yards. And Tyson Pryor, 5 carries, 94 yards and 2 scores. And Colton Thomas early, he had 3 early ones for 43. And again, I saw him get banged up on that one third down conversion. He really hasn't been back in the game much since. Through the air, Sam Carter is 6 for 8, 76 yards, and Riker Williams, the 1 touchdown he had for 58 yards. So efficient, 7 for 9 through the air, 134 yards and a score. So, you'll take that all day long if you're Indian Valley. But, they're built to run the ball anyway, and, boy, they are running it tonight.
They are getting it done tonight, scoring pretty much at will. Even their last drive, they took over with 2 minutes and 52 seconds left, scored, and there's still 50 seconds left on the clock. Bobcats would just run the clock out to end the half and get back in and regroup. And in the second half, Cambridge, as we said at the outset, playing a little bit shorthanded tonight. Several of their top receivers are out with injuries. Several of their linemen as well. Injuries to the line that may be extensive injuries, and they're just going to have to find some other kids to work in there. And there's no magic formula for it at this point. Is you develop some young guys and they get the experience.
Yeah, you got to go with who you have, right? I mean, whoever's
no waiver wire. Right?
No, there is not. You can't really sign somebody today to play, so you go with what you got. So, yeah, some new faces, but, this is a game where, you're going to have a lot of young kids in there taking a beating, but they're certainly going to learn, and they're going to learn real quick. And what they're seeing on the other side of the ball is how it's done. Indian Valley's, as we said in the pregame, they're primed for a pretty good season, and they knew that coming in. So the young kids for the Cats are certainly going to learn some things for sure. Stats for Cambridge in the first half: 6 rushes, minus 13 yards. Carpenter minus 19 of that. So Clayton Myers actually had three carries for 6 yards. Through the air, Carpenter 10 of 21 for 94 yards. I mean, so far, what's this, game 4, and he's under 100 yards in the first half. That hasn't happened yet. Leading the way, Devin Ogle, 6 receptions for 70 yards, been targeted 10 times. And Riley Wilson, 2 catches, 5 yards, has been targeted 7 times. And Nathan Schultz, 5 targets, 2 catches, 19 yards. So, and it's really, Garrett Carpenter's been under pressure, under duress like crazy all night long. So he hasn't been able to sit back and be able to pick apart the Indian Valley defense, except for that very first drive we talked about several times.
No, we talked about his line being depleted as well. I mean, under normal circumstances, you had your full complement of people out there. This was going to be a tough task, and tonight he's doing it with some makeshift guys who are seeing their first varsity action ever, and they're doing it against a really good Indian Valley team. You're listening to our halftime report brought to you by Cambridge Auto Sales. I want to thank our sponsors of tonight's game, including our streaming video, Meyer Shire for Municipal Judge, Patrons, Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Doan Ford, Diesels Bank, Laborers Local 530, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, Laborers or WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales as well, Cambridge Overhead Door. And we were talking a little bit earlier about the Hall of Fame inductees for tonight that actually were inducted last night at a ceremony at the high school, but introduced here at halftime. All of them have passed away, but recognize them here again. Tom Buck Hollins, who graduated in 1971. I was fortunate enough to be around then and playing back then. He was a year ahead of me in school, and there probably wasn't a better athlete. I've heard many people say he'd probably be on the Mount Rushmore of high school athletes here because he could just play any sport exceptionally well, and he had size. Back then, at 6'2", 6'3", and 230, that guy should be a lineman,
huge,
right? but he was playing fullback and linebacker and fully capable of putting a lot of yards on the board and points, and he did that. The other athlete there was Stephen Ford III, and I had the privilege of coaching him a little bit and certainly calling his games at the varsity level, and he was just nothing but a workhorse. I mean, he wasn't the fastest guy or the biggest guy out there, but he probably had the biggest heart. And, Coach Goodrich was the perfect coach for a player like that.
Oh, yeah.
He'd just say, if we give it to you 40 times, is that okay? And, 40 times, 50 times, what was it, 60-plus
times right.
against Dover. But Stephen Ford III, an inductee. And then a couple of coaches, Carl Dupler. I don't know if you knew Carl. But,
I did not.
Carl was he was a teacher and a coach when I was a student, and he had a reputation as being an old school coach, and he coached football for many years in the 50s and 60s, and he was a track coach forever and had great track teams every year. And, of course, Al Zip Joseph. Zip was a basketball coach on a couple of different times for the Bobcats and had some great teams and some great success. So congratulations to all those people and their families and their induction. So I'm sure there's a lot of stories being told about those folks.
Yeah, and during the presentation, the PA announcer, the infamous John Charlton, had announced that that Zip was the national leader in scoring in high school. Is that what he said at Martins Ferry High School?
Martins Ferry not known for their basketball.
No, certainly, especially back then.
Back then, but that would be. We'll have to double check that statistic there. But hey,
that's pretty impressive.
Zip was. I used to play golf with Zip a little bit back in the day.
He was a pretty competitive guy, wasn't he?
He was very competitive.
I had him in art class, I think, in middle school, maybe. And he was still pretty fired up back then.
Oh yeah, he was an old school kind of teacher.
Yeah.
Tell you there's one way to do this. You're going to do this the way I want it done.
Right.
And that's the way things were done back here. With him, both him and Coach Dupler. I remember watching Coach Dupler. He was a football coach when I think I was in 8th grade. He was the freshman football coach, and I used to watch him practice and scream and yell at those guys. And I'm thinking, ooh, I don't know if I can be able to play football for him next year. And he retired that year, and I was like,
pretty happy guy.
Took a deep breath because, he was. You had to be. He was a perfectionist in the way he wanted everybody to do things. He used to blindfold his running backs and make them learn the plays just by their steps. And crossover, step, plant, boom, go hit the hole.
That's neat.
And draw little lines on the field, and you better hit that line. So, a different era for those guys, but congratulations to all the inductees. We're at halftime. Halftime starting to wind down. Teams have come on the field. They got their warm-ups in. Hopefully you do too. This second half is going to zip along here with a running clock. So get ready to go. We're going to take a break. We'll come back ready for the opening kick of the second half right after this.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Back at McFarland Stadium, ready for the second half of action tonight. Indian Valley leading at halftime, 39-0 over the Cats, and then Cambridge will be kicking off to the Braves. So you went and did some research here during our break?
I did. To the National Archives, and we were correct. At least the information that we were provided that Al Zip Joseph was the national leader in scoring when he was at Martins Ferry High School.
Wow.
Now that in basketball. For which he also said that's where he got his nickname from, that he was so fast zippy on the basketball court.
Just going up and down the floor.
Yeah.
Our Valentine Insurance kickoff to get things started. This one's going to be deep to Avery Simmerman at the 9-yard line, bringing it straight up the field, 20-25, and just across the 25 before he's taken down. So the Braves will start things out, leading 39-0 at that point. Remember, we got a running clock, so it will continue to run here.
First down for the Braves.
See, when and or if the Braves start substituting, the Bobcats are already there, right? And it will be now.
Yes, a lot of fresh
jerseys there. 85. That's Carson Hostetler under center. So all those guys that would typically play Saturday are going to be playing tonight. Gain of about 3 or 4 on that opening carry. Myers on the stop for the Cats. So we'll try to get these names in there as we can. Hostetler again going to go under center. I formation behind him. And the handoff to the deep back. Eric Golder. Got a few off the right side, 3rd down and 4. Cats have not stopped the Braves all night long. So had a chance to stack them up on that very last drive. And Colton Thomas had second thoughts about that one. So 3rd and 4. Hostetler out of the gun this time. Takes the snap. He'll keep it straight ahead, and Stop for a short gain, if any. And bring up a 4th down. Taylor Britton on the stop for the Cats.
Brought down by Britt and Shaw.
So that'll force a punting situation. Snap there, low end over end kick that bounces at the 40 and then into the hands of a Bobcat at the 30-yard line. Up the right side, Isaiah Mayo. And he was about a half a tackle from going a ways there. He got out to the 44.
He found a crease there and almost broke it.
That'll place the Cats in really their best field position of the night at their own 44. 9-minute mark here, the third period. Running clock as the Braves on top 39-0. Carpenter at quarterback. Spreads the field with Ogle wide to the left. And the handoff straight ahead to Myers. And he'll pick up 2, maybe 3 off the left side.
Bobcats picks up 2 to 3 yards. Tackle by
And defensive substitutions for the Braves as well.
Lots of young jerseys in there. Numbers we haven't seen all night long. Just excited to be out there playing, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, as you mentioned, the JV game is canceled tomorrow, so this is their opportunity to get some hits in.
2nd and 7. Carpenter takes the snap, fires it in the right flat, has his man close to the first down and out of bounds.
Carpenter's pass complete to
Schultz.
Nathan Schultz.
On the catch and a WB Green first down. Cross midfield to the 46 of the Braves. Fresh set of downs. 3 wides left, 1 to the right. Carpenter takes a snap again, straight ahead. Lashley on the stop for the Bobcats. He'll pick up a couple. Got spun down after a couple-yard gain. Cats with a couple of young guys here and there, too.
Yeah, had JV game last week. Lashley ran really hard.
Carpenter flushed to his right, fires it up the field, and completed right about the 40-yard line again to Schultz.
Carpenter's pass complete to Schultz.
Got a couple more, 3rd down, and about 6. About halfway through this third period. Remind you that we have a running clock here with the score as it is, 39-0. Cats facing 3rd and 6 here. 3 wide to the left. Carpenter looks that way, comes off of that receiver back to his right and over the head of his intended man, Schultz.
Brings up 4th and 5.
The 4th down coming up for the Cats here. Hasn't been able to work it to Ogle, who's on the far side of the field here. And that's, as mentioned earlier, when the Cats spread the field from this right hash, that puts Ogle way out there.
Hard to get it to him that far away.
Myers checks in, and he'll slot to the right side. Empty backfield. And the Braves will jump into the neutral zone. One of the young guys there came in and said, well, they moved. Coach, they moved. Titan Peterman looking around and said, did you see it move?
Yeah. That's the Braves' 5th penalty tonight for 40 yards.
So that's going to get the Cats close to a first down. We'll bring up 4th and short. Myers in the backfield. And again, Peterman, second time in a row, as the Bobcats lineman checked the sidelines for the play, and Peterman jumps the zone. That'll give the Bobcats the first down via the penalty. And I don't know if teams still go in, and because now with the huddle and everything, you got film, if they still have team film sessions where you in. I can see that one getting run back a couple times tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully for his sake it is not.
Yeah. Or maybe they won't have to run it back because it looks like the same thing twice.
Right.
First and 10. Carpenter to pass. Fires this in deep down the left sideline. Jump ball there and going up for it. Did he come down with it? No. Like Ogle there trying to go up over top of the defender.
Pass intended for Ogle, incomplete.
And he could not complete that catch. That was going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it was, but, you know, he put it where only Ogle could catch it. And you see the arm strength of Carpenter, too. I mean, the ball's at the 30-yard line, but he's thrown to the far corner from the right hash. I mean, that's a 60-yard throw.
Good defense that time by the defender. Step for step with Ogle and kept his body in a good spot. Draw play. Straight ahead. Myers inside the 30. Down near the 25. Got about 5 or 6.
Quillen on the carry for the Bobcats.
Or Quillen. Cody Quillen getting it done on both sides tonight, huh? He runs the ball on offense like he played defense. He's looking for people to hit. Right? He's just running it.
He was looking for a white jersey to run over, huh?
Clock down to the 3:45 mark. And we'll continue to roll. Third down. 5 for the Cats. 2-by-2 receiver set. Carpenter looking to throw, fires it in the right flat, has his man Schultz inside the 20, down near the 17. That'll move the sticks again for the Bobcats. First and 10 via WB Green Insurance Company.
Schultz's 5th catch on the night for 37 yards.
I think most of them been in this drive.
Yeah, 3 of them this half.
First and 10 for the Cats, inside the 20 for the first time tonight. Carpenter, handoff again, straight ahead. Banging off tackles, breaking tackles. Quillen that time, inside the 10, now the 5-yard line. It'll be another WB Green Insurance first down and a first and goal for the Cats. Cody Quillen pounding it away between the tackles that time. Quillen, 170-pound junior, linebacker, running back. Handoff straight ahead, and Myers into the end zone. Bobcats get on the board for the first time tonight. 2:21 mark.
Well, Cats get on the board here to start the third quarter. That's Myers' 5th rush for 14 yards, but he's in the end zone. And if I'm not mistaken, that's his first touchdown of the season. That is correct.
I believe that's true.
That is true.
Extra point attempt coming up, and it is up and good. So the Cats tack on the 7, 39-7 in Valley. We'll take a break. Be back with more right after this.
I'm not buying till I check down for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Back at McFarland Stadium. Cats tack on their first score of the night, down 39-7. Clayton Myers from 4 yards out. The extra point attempt good. And the clock wound back into play for this Valentine Insurance kickoff. This one hit low and hard, takes a hop down to the 10-yard line, and then fumbled by the deep back, picked back up across the 20 to the 25. Rowan Picken on the return out to about the mark at the 26-yard line. A minute left in this third period.
And nice to see that the Cats are making some substitutions
as well. Different substitutions defensively, get some young guys in there. Hostetler will go back under center. Handed off straight ahead. Reese St. Clair.
St. Clair on the carry for Indian Valley.
Got about 6 or 7 there.
Schultz on the tackle for the Bobcats.
Schultz on the stop for the Cats. That'll be the final play of the period as we'll head to the fourth period. So each team gets basically a possession in that third period as the clock runs away. And as we head to the fourth period, 39-7 Braves. We'll be back right after this.
This is Ed with Cambridge Overhead Door. If you are building a new home or thinking about replacing your existing garage door, we can help. We have many styles and designs that will enhance the curb appeal of your home. Whether you want standard raised panel doors or our elegant accent wood grain doors that come in a variety of colors, stop by our showroom to see all our options. We are located on State Route 22 in Center beside the pantry door in Delhi. Or give us a call at 432-DOOR. That's 432-3667.
In today's marketplace, you have many choices for insurance. WB Green Insurance, a representative of Westfield Insurance, is committed to providing you with excellent coverage for your home and auto at a fair and competitive price. Westfield has been in the neighborhood for over 150 years, providing peace of mind and quality insurance products through independent insurance professionals. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield's pledge to their customers. Call WB Green Insurance today.
Back at McFarland Stadium, start of the fourth quarter, clock's wound up. We are too. 39-7 Braves on top of the Cats. Indian Valley with the ball and out of the gun this time. Hostetler straight ahead.
.48.
And that handoff went to Garvin Garbrandt. Garbrandt there for a gain of about 4, makes it 3rd and 1. Trying to get the numbers associated with the right guys here, right? No easy task.
No.
Hostetler under center. 3rd and short, straight ahead. And again, St. Clair. Just enough to move the sticks. And the Braves will stay on the offensive side here. 10:50 in counting. Hey, we're getting paid back for all those nights that we've been here till 11, huh? The rain delays.
Jeez, that was a long one. What game was that?
Seems like a long time ago,
sure
doesn't it?
Does. Was that Indian Creek? Was that opening night?
I think it was.
I think it was too.
Handoff straight ahead. St. Clair pops it through second level, and he's gone. 40, 30. No laundry. He's going to take it to the house. There you go. St. Clair, 61-yard run. Looked like he was going to be stacked up after a pretty good game, but he just popped through the other end.
Had good wheels getting down the sideline, too.
So Indian Valley tacks on more points here. Early fourth period. 10-minute mark. Reese St. Clair. And they'll take the knee for 2.
Point after attempt, Indian Valley takes a knee. Score remains Braves 45, Bobcats 7.
And extends the lead 45-7 Indian Valley. 30-second break coming up. We'll be back to close out the fourth period right after this.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank. Working together, building success. Member FDIC.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Back at McFarland Stadium, fourth quarter action. Clock wound into play at the 9:30 mark, and The Braves tack on another 7. This one by Reese St. Clair, 61-yard run, and now another kickoff coming up. And taken down to the 25, Schultz there on the Valentine Insurance kickoff. Get it up the field.
Brought down by Parker Quillen for Indian Valley.
Brogan O'Connor on the kick. To the Cats here. We've seen each team get about a possession a period here with this running clock, and Cambridge with 1 in the third period finished it with a TD, 10 plays. Indian Valley had a couple of possessions there, one just a punt, 4 in a play and a punt, and second one they scored. Cats with a running clock here, 8:48, and they'll start at their own 32.
Yeah, that time flies, buddy, when that clock doesn't stop.
So substitutes in there for the Cats as well. And a pass by,
looks like Myers with the reception.
Myers with the reception. Michael McHale on the throw. He'll stay in at the quarterback spot here. Take the snap. Straight ahead. Actually, still Carpenter in there, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Thought I saw a different number.
Quillen on the carry for the Bobcats.
Quillen will get a few. Bring up 3rd down and 7. Yeah, Cats at this point with injuries and so forth just don't have a whole lot of guys to go as backups.
Yeah, right.
3rd and long. Ogle spreads wide to the right. Carpenter will look that way, throw the deep out, and Ogle will catch it, and he has to come back for it, and it's going to leave him just shy of the line of game. That's a long throw.
Yeah,
all
not
the
an
way
easy
outside
throw.
that number.
But he caught it right off the turf, too. Good hands, of course.
4th and inches. Under 7 minutes left here. The Bobcats try to keep the drive alive here on a 4th down play. Gwillen offset left and now shifting right of Carpenter. Carpenter will take the quarterback draw straight ahead. Now forced to the outside, cuts it up. Did he get enough? According to the spot on the far side, the official is going to say yes, he did. Looked like a broken play from the very get-go.
Well, it was a design draw, but the hole wasn't where he wanted it to be.
It wasn't drawn up the way that it was run, apparently. Out of 1st down, brought to you by WB Green Insurance, and now a fresh set of downs, straight ahead handoff. Myers will spin his way out near the 46.
Brought down by Deacon Trimmer.
The running clock stuff makes this thing go pretty quickly. Under 6th left. 45-7. Indian Valley, who scored 6 times in the first half. They've added 1 here in the second, and the Cats have been able to put 1 on the board. Ogle split wide to the left, 3 wide to the right. Carpenter takes the snap. Plenty of time this time. Fires it deep down the middle. Has a man there at the 20. Hauls it in. And then dropped, huh?
Yeah, went right through the hands.
Boy. It looked like initially he was going to have it and go to the ground, but as he hit the ground, the ball come out. And that is the difference in the game at every level, is catching the ball and making the plays. And if you watch any of the NFL game last night, it was very similar for Kansas City. They had guys there that couldn't catch the ball. So 3rd down and 7. Carpenter rolls to the right, looks down the field. Now steps up, fires it across the field to Ogle. He'll make the adjustment, and he can't handle it. Like he was going to come down with it. And Carpenter throwing late across your body all the way across the field. That's not an easy throw. And he was able to get it in the vicinity of Devin Ogle, who just couldn't come down with it there. So 4th and 7. And the Cats will go for here. Nope. Carpenter will step back and punt it down the field. This one's going to get a good kick favoring the Cats inside the 10. And that's where Cambridge is going to down it at the 350 mark. So the Bobcats unable to get anything continuing on that drive. 7 plays, but an eventual punt. And Indian Valley with 3:45 left in the running clock will take over at their own 7-yard line. And you'll see them probably effectively run this clock out and end this one.
Yeah, just 3:30 left. You would assume that that would be the case. Certainly nobody's going to use a timeout.
They'll be getting a stare if they do. I'm telling you.
From everybody in the stands.
What? Might get an unsportsmanlike penalty from an official, right?
That's right.
What are you doing?
All right.
Hosteller handoff. St. Clair again. It gets to the edge and forced out of bounds after he gained about 12 or so. It looked like maybe a little more. So another first down. Under 3 to play here. And Indian Valley out now to the 21. Bobcats back in action next Saturday on the road. They travel down to Bel Air.
And we will be traveling to Bel Air.
Yeah, nice Saturday afternoon contest. St. Clair off the right side makes a nice cut, cuts it back to the outside, still looking for yardage. Boy, he has that nice little jump cut down where he kind of shuffles behind a defender. Pick up of a big gain and out near the 50-yard line for another first down. He has a similar running style as the other backs. You know, Colton Thomas, we saw him do a lot of that, just kind of try to jump cut behind the defender and shove him by you. And down to the 144 mark. Braves could just take a knee a few times if they opt to.
And that's St. Clair's 4th rush, 109 yards for the young man.
Is he the only guy over 100 there?
Actually, no. Kenzie's got 136.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought Kenzie was there. They are.
Yep.
It's like the Braves are going to go into their victory formation, and Hostetler will take a knee maybe a couple of times, and that'll get it done. The Braves, a week from today, they're going to head to St. Clairsville. So that should be a pretty interesting contest. 2 similar style teams can throw the ball, but they love to run it. Indian Valley and St. Clairsville next Friday at St. Clairsville. Bobcats play St. Clairsville in game 10. And that one at the fairgrounds as well. Indian Valley will take one more knee, and that's going to end this contest, as it does, and it will. Braves will move their record to 3-1 on the season. Bobcats are going to drop to 0-4 tonight. 45-7 your final score. Indian Valley with the win tonight on the road here at McFarland Stadium. Stay tuned. Our post-game wrap-up coming up here shortly. We'll go over our recap of the scoring, the plays of the game, our player of the game tonight, and wrap this one up from McFarland Stadium. We'll be back right after this.
Hunters, shooters, and gun collectors, bring your whole family to an evening of fundraising and firearms at the Guernsey County Sportsman Association banquet on Saturday, September 9th. There will be lots of guns and merchandise in their raffles and live auction. 100% of the proceeds benefit local youth shooting sports groups. That's Saturday, September 9th at Jurassic Park. Doors open at 5. Tickets are just $50 for adults and $15 for youth 17 and under. For more information, call Scott 740-801-1900 or go to ysssff.org.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Hey, Cambridge, your local Dunkin' is hiring. And while everybody knows that America runs on Dunkin', not everyone knows what Dunkin' runs on. We run on incredible crew members, flexible working hours, community spirit, career opportunities, affordable education opportunities, owners that work with you, and a whole lot of other perks. Want to come run with us? Text DONUTSCOLES, that's Donuts Coles, to 85000. America runs on Dunkin', and Dunkin' runs on you. Cambridge Dunkin' is locally owned and operated.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Myra Shearer? Myra who?
Hi, I'm Myra Shire, and I'm running to be the next judge of the Cambridge Municipal Court. No matter how you pronounce my last name, most people know me as Myra, a dedicated public servant. Myra, the assistant law director. Myra, a community volunteer with my husband Jeff. If elected judge, I promise that I will serve Guernsey County with honesty and integrity. I respectfully ask for your vote on November 7th.
Vote Myra in November for Municipal Court Judge. Paid for by Myra Shire for Judge.
Hey, football fans, Laborers. Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
97.7 on your FM dial. We're WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Welcome back to McFarland Stadium. We're wrapping up this one, a 45-7 in Valley win over top of the Bobcats here in Week 4. As the Braves move to 3-1 on the season, the Bobcats stay winless at 0-4 tonight. Our post-game report brought to you by Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales. Want to thank him and all of our sponsors tonight, making tonight's broadcast and streaming video possible for you. Myra Shire for Municipal Judge, patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Doan Ford, People's Bank, Valentine Insurance, Wayne Garage Door, and Cambridge Auto Sales. About half of them. We'll hit the other half after we do a couple of things here, including our play of the game and pick a play. The Braves made plays all night long, Bobcats had a promising drive early, but some Braves plays on defense stymied that as they harassed Carpenter into his poorest performance of the season offensively, and that defense is the real deal. As they got in his face and pressured him a lot tonight and didn't allow him to look down the field for very long. But it was the Braves who got on the board first. Grady Kinsey, 4:59 of the opening period, a 41-yard run. The extra point made it 7-0. Tyson Pryor would add one at the 125 mark of the opening period, capping a 7-play, 49-yard drive, probably the most plays that the Braves used all night long. That'll be our drive of the game. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company sponsoring a drive of the game. And Tyson Pryor capping that off from just 2 yards out, 49 yards, covering 7 plays. The extra point was no good. But the Braves right back in action right at the end of the period. Kinsey again as the clock hit 0, 36 yards out this time. The extra point try was good, just 3 plays to cover 60 yards. Kinsey with a lot of big runs on the night. And probably the biggest of them came back as a botched snap attempt hit him at the goal line there. And he went 99 yards for the touchdown, but a penalty play nullified that one. And actually, the Braves tonight had a couple of those touchdowns called back. Indian Valley in the second period, adding 3 more scores before half. Colton Thomas got in the action there, a 58-yard swing pass where he would catch it in the right flat and go untouched. A 1-play drive. Call that your play of the game. Brought to you by King Carpet tonight. And our play of the game, a 1-play scoring drive, 58 yards. Colton Thomas on the swing pass. And he made several cats miss down that sideline, but once he got a little space, nobody was going to catch him. And there's a couple of guys on the Cambridge defense got some speed, but Kinsey and Thomas both showed the ability to break it all the way once they got a little space, as did Pryor. And speaking of Tyson Pryor, the ensuing drive for Indian Valley, 4 plays, 96 yards, starting that drive from their own 4-yard line. Tyson Pryor, 72 yards up the middle, took it to the bank. And I thought maybe that was the last score before halftime, and the Cats and Indian Valley kind of exchanging possessions there, but Indian Valley getting it back, and Kinsey would do it again, this time from 34 yards out, making a halftime score 39-0. Cambridge would get on the board with a running clock in the third period. Clayton Myers would take it in from 4 yards out, a 10-play drive for the Bobcats. Extra point would make it 39-7, and then Indian Valley JVs would get in the mix as well. Reese St. Clair from 61 yards, capping the scoring on the night. Final score 45-7. Indian Valley going home with a W tonight. And that is our recap of the scoring and our plays and our drive and our sponsors. The other half of our sponsors, Dunkin' Donuts of Cambridge, Troy Blair with Dunning Motor Sales, Laborers Local 530, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Cambridge Overhead Door, Guernsey County Sportsman Association. So now, this is the math portion of our show. And JV has been hurriedly scribbling things down over there. And you go ahead and tell us what all that ended up adding up to.
A whole bunch of numbers. Well, I can tell you this. Coach Matt Lancaster, in his 17th season, is feeling pretty good about this win tonight. He knew the Cats were a little banged up coming in, but I wouldn't think that anybody would have thought that your number 1 running back would only carry the ball 4 times. Grady Kinsey, 4 rushes, 136 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He ran the ball 4 times and scored 3 touchdowns. So, he's really good. Everybody knows that. But the poor guy only ran the ball 4 times, but he still had a pretty darn good night.
Yards per carry went up.
Yeah, it sure did. Tyson Pryor, 5 carries, 94 yards and 2 scores. Reese St. Clair came in there at the end and had 4 carries, 109 yards. Overall, 26 carries on the ground for 422 and 6 scores for the Braves. So really successful night on the ground, that's for sure. Through the air, they never threw a ball in the second half, so still 7 for 9, 134, and a TD. Some receivers, again, that didn't change at all. Leading the way was Colton Thomas, 4 receptions, 101 yards. So offensively, very efficient. My goodness, the yards per carry I did not figure up, but my gosh, it's a lot. It was 20 in the first, so 26 carries, 422. We're around that average again. For Cambridge, they were in the positive on the rushing side tonight, so that's something to build upon. And Clayton Myers led the way with 6 carries for 17 yards and got his first TD of the season there in that second half. 14 rushes, 22 yards total for the Cats with that score. Garrett Carpenter through the air, 15 of 30 for 121 yards and no scores, no picks. Nathan Schultz, 5 receptions, 37 yards. He was targeted 9 times. Devin Ogle targeted 12 times for 76 yards. He did have 7 catches. And Riley Wilson had 2 catches, 5 yards. Clayton Myers did catch 1 for 3 yards. So statistically speaking, not the best night for the Bobcats. But, we talked 1,000 times already about being lean in numbers and starters, so a lot of backups playing. But what we didn't talk about is really how good Indian Valley is.
Yeah.
So, you can make excuses all you want to, but that's a pretty darn good team over there. So knowing that coming in, it was going to take a pretty darn good effort from the Cats to be able to get in the end zone tonight, and they only made it in there once.
Yeah, the Braves, as they've shown the last couple of years, they've made some deep postseason runs. And I would dare say they're poised to do something like that again. They're going to be one of the top seeds in the region, and probably have an opportunity to play at home a time or two and move on. But I was impressed. We knew coming in they had lots of weapons on offense, and we knew that it was going to be a chore for the Bobcats to hold them down at all. I was more impressed with their defense because the way their defense flew around early and the kind of pressure they put on. But again, I mean, the Cambridge linemen were shorthanded tonight, going with some guys that had never played at the varsity level before, and you're going against guys that are seasoned vets coming off the edge pretty quick. Carpenter had to get rid of it quickly tonight, and it made it much more tougher to find his receivers. He had a few drops tonight, too, that could have changed things, at least in his final statistics. But he put the ball on the money again tonight, and he'd been averaging over 300 a game coming in. You knew sooner or later in a game like this that was going to come tumbling down, and it did tonight. Yeah, definitely the best team that the Cats have played thus far in the season. And looking at the schedule, and it's the same thing as last year. I believe Indian Valley was the best team they played last year, too. And I said that, I remember going into it. That's still, I think, the best team that the Cats are going to face. Now, moving forward, though, look, man, it doesn't get easy. Well, no, it doesn't get real easy, but you got a long-time standing relationship with Bel Air next week. That rivalry's been going on for a long time. So, you got a couple opportunities for some W's down the road, but Cats just need to get her figured out, get healthy, and I think that the health will come back next year. It was just unfortunate that you had 3 or 4 key starters out tonight during the same game. So that was just huge. Not only were they the receivers, but those are also the DBs. Yeah. Right. So I mean, you're really in behind the 8 ball from that standpoint. But it is what it is. Move forward. This was again the toughest opponent that they were going to face this year. Anyway, the good news is dating back to 1996, which was the first game between the two folks. The Cats still have a pretty demanding lead in the series, 10-4. So there's something to build upon. They built those up in the early days. They did. But that's Valley's chipping away at it. Yes, but that was before Coach Lancaster was there, and he's done a really good job with that program. Tonight, give him some credit too. He could have poured it on all he wanted to. For sure. Playing his young kids the entire second half, running clock, but. Be pretty classy act there, taking a knee and not pushing the issue to put more points on the board. The statement was made, and the Braves moved to 3-1 and stay healthy moving to next week. And, they're going to have their work cut out for them next week at St. Clairsville. That's going to be a game that's going to go a long way to determining which team is the top of the region as we get closer to the playoff talk. But for the Bobcats, a Saturday game, an extra game of healing for those guys that need it for next week. And, next Saturday afternoon game, a special kind of atmosphere when you get to play on a Saturday afternoon down in Bel Air, Ohio. And we've been there before. We'll be there again next week. And maybe you can join us, too, if you're Saturday afternoon road trip. Here we go.
Saturday afternoon, and I believe that the Buckeyes play in the afternoon after we're done. I think they play at 4:30, something like that.
There you go.
So why would you not listen to us and then just continue your football day and watch the Buckeyes
Make it a day and a night and a weekend as the NFL's off and running. And before we check out here, we do have a player of the game for the Bobcats. Each week, +1 Pizza will sponsor a Bobcat player for player of the game. And best we could come up with here, Clayton Myers gave it all. He played both ways tonight.
Yep.
I think pretty much the entire game was leading Bobcat rusher tonight and also scored their lone score. So, Clayton, for your efforts tonight and staying healthy, getting on the field, getting her done, never giving up. Congratulations on being our player of the game. So that brings us down to the final thing that we do every week is thank our crew here, man. And they, Brett Klein, the other BK, and his crew do a great job coming in, setting up, tearing down, lugging everything around. Of course, they're 40 years younger than me, too, so they can do that stuff.
They can get up down these steps with weights.
I got
much
that.
better than we can.
Much better than I can. We appreciate their effort. And thank you for joining us once again this week. Next week, we're on the road at Bel Air. Hopefully you can join us there for the ABC Sports Team. JV, I'm BK. We'll see you then. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.